change it right now. We'll make it official. Look at that. Oh, boom.
Is mine correct?
Are you ready? I'd like to call the regular meetings of the Housing Successor Agency, and City Council to order. Deputy City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Martin.
Here.
Councilmember Rodriguez.
Here.
Councilmember Zamora.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Rounds.
Here?
And Mayor Sarno is absent.
Please excuse the mayor. He's not feeling well today.
Thank you. I'd like to call upon Councilmember Martin to lead us in the invocation, please.
Thank you. Please rise. Bow your heads. Our Heavenly Father, we give thanks tonight for the privilege of meeting together to deliberate on matters affecting our city. We ask for your guidance in our efforts to work for the betterment of our community. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing. At this time, I'd like to invite the Youth Leadership Committee to come in for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
Pledge
allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And please introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Juliana Casillas, and I am currently serving as chairperson on the Youth Leadership Committee.
Thank you. And, no, not yet, not yet.
Sorry.
And she's also my neighbor.
Thank you.
I'd like to introduce the following representatives from the Chamber of Commerce. We have Lena Eraza, from broker and owner of CBM Real Estate and Home Loans.
I don't see her.
Gabby Wade, Marketing Director of Tapiac Restaurant and Tequila Sports Bar. And Kathy Fink, Santa Fe Springs CEO. Thank you for being here. Item numbers 1 through 4, their presentations. At this time, I'd like to call upon Director of Park and Recreation, Director Gus Hernandez.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Tonight we have the first quarterly report of our advisory committee. So here with us we have from the Youth Leadership Committee, Ms. Juliana Casillas.
Mr. Mayor and honorable members of the City Council, good evening. I am Juliana Casillas, the chairperson of the Youth Leadership Committee, and I'm here this evening to present the quarterly update for the Youth Leadership Committee. So a summary of what we have been doing and engaged in since the start of the academic year. We had executive elections in September 2023. The committee held elections for executive officers, with me being voted as chairperson, along with Vanessa Doss as vice chairperson, Jeline Casillas as treasurer, and Valerie Gamboa as secretary. We had charitable contributions in December of 2023. The YLC made a charitable contribution of $350 to the Little Lake City Schools District's Family Resource Center, assisting a family in need during the holiday season. We had an annual retreat to Green Valley Lake in January 2024. The city staff organized the annual retreat focusing on team bonding, strategic planning for programs and events targeting youth and teens, and recruitment of new members. We had the Lucas Museum presentation in February of 2024. A representative from the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art delivered a presentation on the status of the construction of the museum at the Exposition Park campus in downtown LA and solicited input from the YLC on teen interest in art and strategies for engaging youth in art-related activities. And finally, we had community engagement activities, as the YLC has been actively involved in various community events, including volunteering at the city's tree lighting ceremony in December, the President's Day Penny Carnival in February, and upcoming events such as Chalk It Out later this month and the Get Acquainted in the Club BBQ in June. This concludes my presentation, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Youth Leadership Committee, it's the younger folks in Santa Fe Springs. They're junior and seniors, I believe, freshmen? Okay, high school students. And they get very involved in our community. They're going to be our future leaders someday. So I really appreciate what you do for us. Thank you. Next on the agenda, the Abigail Barraza Foundation recognition of the 2023-24 Miss Santa Fe Springs Court. At this time, I'd like to call upon Public Information Officer Raylene Barraza.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Rounds and members of the City Council. This evening, we will be recognizing our 2023-2024 Miss Santa Fe Springs Court. Leading this presentation will be Monique Gutierrez, the dedicated pageant director of the Miss Santa Fe Springs Court. With a passion for empowering young women and fostering community spirit, Monique plays a pivotal role in organizing and guiding activities of the court. Under her leadership, the Miss Santa Fe Springs Court attends various city events, spreading joy and representing the vibrant spirit of our community. Beyond appearances at city events, Monique ensures that the court engages in exceptional community service efforts, making a positive impact and inspiring others to give back. With her guidance, the Miss Santa Fe Springs Court embodies the values of service, leadership, and camaraderie. And now at this time, I would like to invite Monique Gutierrez, pageant director, up to the podium.
Good evening. Thank you, Raylene. I just want to say thank you for having us here today. I have our 2023-2024 court. Our girls have appeared in probably over 50 events and over 100 service hours. We're super proud of them. They represent different organizations, not only the Abigail Barraza Foundation, but City of Hope and the Tournament of Roses. Raylene put together a slideshow to show you what our girls do throughout the year. It's so much more than just the pictures, but all the work that's put behind it, and I wouldn't be able to do it without the support of the City of Santa Fe Springs and my staff. We're very proud of them. They went on, past court members have went on to UCLA, USC, Berkeley, UC Davis, all those great schools, and currently I know our current queen is going to USC, so we're super proud of them. They do get a smaller scholarship with us, but then they are qualified for the bigger scholarships throughout, California, Los Angeles. To date, we've given out over $30,000 within the last 6 years, and that's all the hard work, really, that these girls put into the community during their time as contestants. They are out there selling tickets. They're, raising money for their crowns, and a lot of that money does come from the girls working hard for their own scholarships. We do get small donations, but I'm proud to say that all the hard work and the money comes from these young girls going out there. So this is a great way to represent the city of Santa Fe Springs. We are definitely one of a kind, and I'm super proud of them. We were the first Latina court to be represented at the Tournament of Roses and have a VIP tour of the mansion. So that's kind of our claim to fame with the Rose Court, thanks to Linda. But they just do great things. These are your future leaders of the city of Santa Fe Springs, and I have nothing but great things to say about these girls, and I'm truly honored that you are here honoring them tonight. So thank you.
As Raylene said, we have some certificates, so if I can ask the council to help me give these out. First of all, we have Priscilla Adams. Uh-oh. Abigail Katina? Is that correct? Katina, I'm sorry. Abigail Farmer? Samantha Sanchez? Congratulations. Jessica Valdez? Congratulations. Is Ashley here tonight? Ashley? Sorry, I can't pronounce it like that. Renee Laza. Renee. Thank you. We're all having a hard time here. Congratulations. Thank you. Stephanie Martinez. Now you tell me. Miss Linda. And of course, Miss Monique Gutierrez. Thank you. Oh, no. That's okay, AJ's got it. Thank you, girls, and look forward to seeing all of you at all the events this year. Good job.
Monique, do you have the announcement of when the next Miss Santa Fe Springs pageant is, so we can start publicizing?
It's on May 9th of 2024, so Thursday night.
Thursday night.
The tickets are being printed up now, so are the flyers, so we'll have them to you guys.
Perfect, perfect. I mean, it just, Bill, if I may?
Yes,
I've been
of course.
with Monique since the beginning, and every year, I mean, these girls outdo us. I mean, it's, every year you girls impress us to the point where I don't see where you guys are, where there is no limit with you girls. And every year it gets better and better, and thank you so much for representing us. Thank you for representing young women and the class and the dignity that you guys show. It says so much about you. Miss Linda, you've brought so much to the plate. I mean, our city's so small, but we're so powerful. I mean, to see that we're part of the Rose Parade, I mean, you see us here, Santa Fe Springs, so small, and being able to go to the, what would the mansion? It's not the mansion. It's, what would we call it? It's a tournament house. The tournament house. Yeah, and it's an honor. So thank you so much for taking your time and being part of our small city and making these girls what they are. Monique, Renee, Stephanie, all you girls, thank you so much. I mean, we have a little bit of everything, but because of the way you mold them, we have these girls that we do. I mean, thank you so much. Thank you for representing us the way you do. So we can't wait to see what else you guys have, like in a couple of years to show us, come back. So thank you so much.
Of course.
I'd also like to say how proud I am of all of you, of Monique. Seroptimus had this Miss Santa Fe Springs years ago, but Monique and her team and our young ladies have pushed it up to a whole different standard, and it's beautiful. I love the way you empower women, and you're the role models of all those little girls that want to be like you and wear that tiara. And I see you all around, or is it tiara? Yes. I'm just so proud too, when I see you and how nice you are, you want to take pictures, and you're over there volunteering and creating new crafts for the children. I just want to say thank you. I think it's a great opportunity to be in the Miss Santa Fe Springs, and you really enhanced it, and I can't thank you so much, because it's really gotten to the point where it's just so glamorous and so nice that all these young women are getting their scholarships, going to college, and it's just motivating everybody in our community. So thank you so much, all of you. And Monique, thank you.
Just to echo what my colleague said, I mean, you know, this Miss Santa Fe Springs has been around for a long time. And, you know, where you have grace and elegance, I mean, you also have leaders, and that's what you guys are going to be. You're going to be the future of this community, and I know that you guys are all going to eventually stem off to college and have families and, you know, have your careers. But we hope that you can always come back and give back to this community, or even move back into this community. You know, it's been a blessing to have you guys here serving. So, you know, we always have different events, and we also have Volunteer Week. So we hope that you guys continue to not only volunteer, but just to give back. We know that in the school system, I hear from a lot of the kids, or actually a lot of the little girls who always talk about that they met you at the parks, that they seen you, that they took a photo with you, and it really does mean a lot to them. So, you know, thank you, and just keep serving the city of Santa Fe Springs. And of course, to the ladies who actually, you know, are the role models, real models for them, we appreciate your hard work. And I know that you guys have, you know, the core that you guys have now of these women that are showing these young ladies on how to serve this community. You could see the difference from before to now. So within the last couple of years. So I do appreciate that. So thank you guys, and God bless.
And girls, congratulations on being part of Santa Fe Springs history, 2023, 2024. And I saw Monique out front, and I just had a flashback. So, you know, this is all inspired by her mother, correct? This, and a great, great woman. I was very fortunate to meet her and work with her at the bank. But I remember her parents used to host the Santa Float. They would have it on their corner and give out hot chocolate and cookies and whatnot. And Monique was running around causing all kinds of problems and stuff on the front. And to see her now, it's just it's a great honor. So thank you for what you do. Congratulations again, girls, and I wish everybody the best on May 9th. Thank you. So next, proclaiming the week of April 21 to 27th, 2024 as National Volunteer Week, I'd like to call upon Librarian Services Manager Deborah Raul.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. This year, National Volunteer Week falls on April 24th through 27th. Every year, Community Services hosts a dinner to thank the many volunteers that help the department provide services and programs for the community. These volunteers assist as committee members, reading tutors, Santa float helpers, sports coaches, and more. Some volunteers are high school students, and some have spent countless hours over several decades serving this community. And Community Services is honored to thank these selfless members of the community. Tonight we have some of our library volunteers present. I'd like to introduce them. Yuretsi Garcia. Come on up. Andrea Garcia. Ariana Amaro. Andrea Hernandez. Carlos Aguilar. Sarah Bello. And Daniel De Leon. And I would like to invite all the city volunteers present tonight in the audience to come forward and help accept the proclamation.
We have a City of Santa Fe Springs proclamation. It's signed by the Mayor, Jay Sarno, and I'd like to invite everyone to participate. Deborah, you can come up too as they accept this and take a picture. Who wants to hold it? There you go. Thank you, everyone, for being part of the library. Good job. Next, proclaiming the month of April 2024 as Donate Life Month, I'd like to call on the city manager and then invite Ruth Covington to accept the proclamation.
Honorable Mayor and City Council members, thank you for allowing me to speak tonight and educate the community about the importance of donation. As some of you remember, I became a donor wife 17 years ago when my husband Dale Covington passed from a heart attack. During his life, he was a very popular guy. He was star running back and senior class president at Santa Fe High School. Later, he became a recreation leader, program coordinator, and he ended his career as a recreation supervisor. He spent his life serving our community, and he loved every minute of it. His generosity continued after his passing with his tissue donation. I'm here to honor his gift and to encourage everyone in attendance to make the choice to become a donor too. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. And
I brought his picture this year. It's our anniversary. I couldn't leave him home. I know, yeah.
And Ruth, thank you for coming here every year and doing this. And I know you said that he was very popular. Well, now he's a legend, so.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I'd like to invite you up once again on a proclamation from the City of Santa Fe, signed by Mayor Sarno, as I break the microphone.
First it's the computer, then it's the mic.
Did anybody else come with you? No? Okay. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Joe Angel. And I'd like to also say that years ago, I had the honor to go down to help decorate the Rose Parade float with Ruth, take pictures with her and her daughter. Very heartwarming experience. And when you watch the Rose Parade this year, make sure you look at that float. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Next, Mr. Bobadilla, are there any changes to the agenda?
We have no changes, Mayor Pro Tem.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Ruth, not yet. Don't leave yet.
Just a little side note with when it comes to Mr. Covington, Dell. You know, when we look at our Parks and Rec, I think all of us know that when we see anybody who's going to work for us or even have any type of supervised role, we think of Dell. And I know that, you know, we just made Gus our Public Works director and you know, Parks and Rec director. And, you know, it reminds us of that heart, you know, that Dell always gave. You know, he gave to anybody. You know, he's the type of man that just always gave the time. I mean, when it came to our Halloween, you know, he was real big at doing all of our festivities over there. And, you know, I hope we can bring that back this year. You know, I think our finances are a little different this year. But Dell was just the man. I mean, I adored that individual. I know he did a lot for all of us, and I know my mom loved him. I mean, we always just had so much fun around him.
When my daughter started working for the city of Cerritos, she came home one day and she says, "Mom, Dad was everybody's boss?" I said, "Yeah." "And they loved him?" And I said, yeah, they did. And she goes, how did he do that? I said, I don't know. Just, he loved everybody. He loved people. He loved helping people have fun.
Yeah, they always
And,
wanted to be
yeah,
around him.
That's what he did. Yeah, he was very generous, very popular guy.
I mean, I actually worked for him. AJ worked for him too. And we worked for John, Carrie. I mean, we were his employees, and it was great. You did it whether you were on the clock or not. If Dale needed it, you did it because it was Dale. And the Halloween, and during Halloween, that was his favorite holiday. And the haunted house that was him. That was Dale. And that was one thing that you can have employees show up, volunteer, not even on the clock, to make sure that haunted house was done every year for him.
He would take time off
Yes.
from work, vacation time,
Yeah.
and stay in our backyard and build crazy things like pyramids and
Yeah.
slamming doors.
He did.
And falling ceilings. And yeah,
But thank you, Ruth, for continuing his legacy from doing this. And because of you, I can guarantee there's so many of us are donors because of him. So thank you to keep this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bobadilla, are there any changes to the agenda?
We have no changes, Mayor Pro Tem.
Great, thank you. Next, public comments. Public comments on non-agenda and non-public comments hearing agenda items. Public comments are now open. The public may address the city council on any non-public hearing item on the agenda or any other matter within the city council's jurisdiction. You will have an opportunity to speak for 3 minutes once the deputy city clerk announces your name. Deputy City Clerk, do we have any members of the public that wish to speak?
No speakers tonight.
Last chance. Public comments are now closed. Mr. Bobadilla, do we have any staff communications?
We have no communications tonight, Mayor Pro Tem.
Regular business? Aquatic Center improvements, Phase 1B, project update. I'd like to call upon Mr. Bobadilla.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We're really excited to bring this item to the council. As you know, we started Phase 1A. It's currently under construction, so there's a lot of work going on out there, and I'd like to have our Public Works Director, James Enriquez, report on Phase 1B.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council. I'm going to ask Assistant Director Robert Garcia, the project manager, to come to the podium and provide an update on the project.
Thank you, James. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and members of the council. We're happy to present an update on the Aquatic Center Improvements Project. We will present a project summary, and HED Pool Design Consultants will share conceptual designs and renderings. This item is a request for council to provide direction on Phase 1B conceptual designs, color schemes, and pool furniture, in addition to provide direction on finalizing Phase 1B construction plans, specifications, and estimates for a proposed 2025 completion. The purpose of the project is to address deteriorating aquatic center conditions, specifically cracked, uplifted deck concrete, aging pool equipment, enhance existing amenities, and construct new, fresh, and exciting amenities. The city-approved project was divided into 2 phases, Phase 1A and Phase 1B. Phase 1A construction will start in early March 2024, and the completion of the project is anticipated mid-summer 2024. The goal is to have the pools open to the public in the summer of 2024. Phase 1B is anticipated to start construction in the winter of 2024, and is anticipated to complete construction in the fall of 2025. Phase 1A summary. The city awarded a contract to California Commercial Pools Incorporated in February 2024. The scope of work includes the removal and replacement of pool deck, approximately 7,000 square feet, removal and replacement of existing interior pool plaster for both pools, remove and replace mechanical equipment, which includes pumps, heaters, controllers, and filters, reconstruction of the mechanical room's concrete surge pits, and various pool equipment upgrades, such as ADA pool, lifts, and main drain grates. The total cost of Phase 1A project is estimated at $5.2 million. The construction will start in early March and be completed in midsummer 2024. We wanted to thank Parks and Recreation for the drone imagery that you're seeing here. A quick update on the project is the contractor has removed pool plaster at both pools. Currently existing pool concrete decks, removing the decks, and has removed all the mechanical equipment from the room. One quick note, if you see that black dot in the small pool, that's a family of ducks that are in that pool. Yeah. So that gives you a little idea of what's taking place. That was as of last week. All right, we'll continue. Phase 1B summary. The original scope of work includes the construction of a new splash pad with shade structures, new family restroom adjacent to splash pad, new cabana area with shade structures, new concession stand, remove and replace outer perimeter of existing concrete pool deck, new east and west spectator shade structures, new jacuzzi with shade structures, pool house renovation, new entry canopy, and new picnic area with shade structures. The total cost for Phase 1B is estimated at $13.3 million and has a potential funding shortfall of $5.5 million. Upon evaluation of Phase 1B's estimated cost, Council may consider deferring the pool house renovation and construction of the entry canopy originally included as part of Phase 1B and implement an optional Phase 2 project to reduce the funding shortfall on Phase 1B. The revised Phase 1B scope of work includes the original scope less the pool house renovation, entry canopy, and adding minor pool house improvements. The estimated project total equals $9.7 million with a funding shortfall reduction of $1.9 million. The optional Phase 2 project includes pool house renovation and new entry canopy with an estimated cost of $3.6 million. The total for revised Phase 1B plus Phase 2 equals $13.3 million. The estimated schedule is the design is currently active. Contractors will be bidding in fall 2024, start construction in winter 2024, and the project completion in fall 2025. We will now bring up the HED Aquatic Center design team. I'd like to invite Dwayne and Mikhail up to the podium to present conceptual designs and renderings and to give you a better idea of what's coming next.
Good evening, dear Mayor and Council members. My name is Michael Bulander. I'm a design principal with HED, the architects for the project. And what you see right now here is kind of a bird's eye view that shows the project as a total project. You might notice the warmer wood-like color in most of the elements in most of the areas represent really a shade structure that we see throughout the project, providing ample shade to really make the aquatic center a much more comfortable space, basically during the day. The idea is for us that these shade structures, we saw them really as part of the landscape so that they would not compete with the existing buildings. And when we visited the site, our first impression was really that we were very impressed with the block work, the main construction of the aquatic center, the building and the exterior walls, because they're done in a very, very careful way. What we notice is that all of the dimensions of the walls are all based on an exact module. So you will never find an area where a block is cut somewhat arbitrarily in the middle, which indicates to us that it was done with great care. And we also realized the block work is a reference and a connection to the Civic Center of Santa Fe Springs. It was and is historically an important project. It's part of the LA Conservancy list of important historic buildings in the LA area. And it was constructed by, as you know, the renowned architect Pereira. And the Aquatic Center being built subsequently picks up on it and really creates a connection to the Civic Center. So for us, that means it's important to maintain the integrity of the brickwork, which is the main structure of the Aquatic Center. In terms of a guiding image for the design approach, mainly the landscape area, we were picking up on the main activities in an aquatic center. One of them is the kind of recreational aspect of swimming, which means you stay in your lane and you do your physical activity. The other portion is really the fun aspect of being around water, playing with water. And you can see these images here, the straight lines of the lanes, and then water drops being kind of representing the fun element, became the guiding image for our approach to the design. We are proposing two design or a color scheme concepts that we might discuss tonight. The first one is really extending the existing color scheme. So we have the more neutral, warm gray colors of the concrete block, the gates, all these materials, and then we have accents in blue that really highlight this relationship to water. We then extended the blue color with few other blue tones to kind of improve on this notion of water that is related to it. The second scheme on the right side then, you can see that we expanded it, basically bringing in at first the yellow, which is also part of the Santa Fe Springs logo, and then building up further on the yellow is then the green tone, which kind of represents the vegetation, landscape, the lush greenery that we can find in especially the Civic Center of Santa Fe Springs. So we were working with those two schemes, and you see those colors reflected in some of the renderings. This is the area basically around the existing spectator building. So it's on the west side, and we are adding this shading device to really make this existing spectator building more usable throughout the day. Basically adding the shade element to it. It has integrated light fixtures to it, and the idea is that up on the top you see the slats, meaning the screen that provides the shade on top of the structure is kind of a wood-like material, so it provides the warmth. It's not wood, it's a resin-infused wood fiber material, so there's very low maintenance, but it has the quality, the warmth of wood. And then the opposite side is the east spectator area, where we add the shading structure to it and provide space for some bleacher areas, especially for like the teaching classes that might happen in the pool there, so parents could sit there and watch the children. In between there will be a fence that we're not showing right now here for safety reasons that would have to be installed. It's a temporary fence that will be placed there. This one is then to the west of the pool house. It's the jacuzzi area. You see in the middle the jacuzzi is installed, and then up above we see a shade structure, some landscaping around it, some furniture that can be placed right next to it, and it really provides a comfortable area for this jacuzzi pool. This one is the splash pad. On the left side, really this fun element of water spraying that is intended to provide a great area for kids to play and have fun. And then additional shade structures that connect this area to the other areas around the pool and provide shade to make it comfortable, especially for parents that might watch the kids. And then stepping further out, this one is between the Aquatic Center and the Civic Center. It's the picnic area where the shade elements also provide the needed shade for the seating areas. This one, in this area, we think we can also have vines growing on top. So you see the tree-like structure of these shade structures then could actually really feel like trees. This is the cabana area with, on the right side, you can see the concession stand. You see those vertical slats on the fence. The fence is required by code so that kids cannot just quickly escape and get into the pool. So it's somewhat a control mechanism. You see the cabanas in the back a little bit lower and the shade structures in the front. Here we don't think we can do the vegetation on top because we don't want any leaves to get into the nearby pool. And the concession stand is articulated as part of these elements. So it picks up on these same slat elements that provide the shades. They become the skin of the concession stand. So it belongs to the landscape area and does not compete with the existing buildings. And this is another view. In the concession stands is now way in the back. On the left side, you see a cabana that's a little bit lower, and then the shade structures on the right side and the kind of a barbecue station in the middle. Towards the post office, we think we can screen this area a little bit more. You see an indication of the vegetation there. We're thinking, over time this will grow a little bit bigger and really screen off that post office wall. And then we developed some alternatives in terms of this color scheme. One of them is picking up on the element of the green because it picks up on the vegetation, so it belongs to the area of the plants. You see there's a light mint green for the main steel structure, and then some of these members are highlighted and bring accent into it, an element of fun. And the other one does it in a bluish tone and really picks up on the color blue that we find as an accent color throughout the aquatic center. The landscaping around the facility or throughout the area is really based on this idea that I mentioned earlier, the swim lanes overlaid with these ripple effects of the drips in the water. So it's the linear and then the curvilinear elements. The color palette has been discussed with the maintenance, the city maintenance staff to make sure that we comply with all the requirements in terms of drought-resistant planting, but also the maintenance aspect that are required. And then some of the ideas for the furniture, which on the one hand in the middle you see kind of a lounge chair that could be distributed especially around the jacuzzi area. Then some seating elements and kind of seating furniture. This of course is a little bit down the road, so there's some time to really develop that a little bit further. And with that I would like to give it back to Robert. Unless there are any questions that I could answer right now.
All right, thank you. We'll review the estimated project cost for Phase 1A. The pool equipment room equals $3 million. Pool deck and plaster remediation equals 2.1. And ADA entry, which includes curb ramps and path of travel, equals $50,000. The estimated total for Phase 1A project cost is $5.2 million. We'll review the summary of project cost. Let me back up. I missed this one. Okay, now we're good. I will review the summary project costs for each of the, my slide sheets. Let me back up. There we go. All right, we'll review the estimated project cost for the revised Phase 1B. There, now we're on track. We'll review the estimated project cost for the revised Phase 1B. The picnic area equals $690,000. Splash pad equals $3.2 million. Cabana and concession stand equals $1.6 million. Spectator shade equals $1.6 million. East deck shade equals $900,000. Jacuzzi equals $1.2 million. Pool house minor improvements equals $500,000. The estimated total for revised Phase 1B project cost equals $9.7 million. We'll review the summary of project costs for each of the phases. Phase 1A equals $5.2 million. Revised Phase 1B equals $9.7 million. The total of Phase 1A plus revised Phase 1B equals $14.9 million. The project funding budget includes the city funds equaling $6.6 million and Senator Archuleta funds equaling $6.4 million. The total project funding is $13 million. The project funding shortfall equals $1.9 million if we construct Phase 1A plus revised Phase 1B. This concludes our update on the Aquatic Center improvements project presentation. We were asking to provide direction on the following items: conceptual designs, color schemes, furniture, and with the understanding an additional funding to cover the $1.9 million shortfall will be at a future council meeting. So with that, we'll take questions.
I have a question. I know I had talked to Renee about misters, but not on the side where the parents are going to be at. I know that there's, but if we can add some misters to it, like on the portion where people sit down, or where they can walk around, and just to have that luxury.
We can add that to the budget. What we do need is, we do need direction on the color scheme, and they presented two schemes, one with just the color scheme with the rustic brown, or a colorful scheme.
I mean, me personally, I like the colorful scheme because that's what most of our kids like. I mean, that's what they usually wear when it comes to their trunks and stuff like that, so I think it's more vibrant.
Can we do this for Robert and James and team? On the colorful scheme, we can kind of hash that out as we go, right?
Yes.
So if the council's comfortable with the schemes, can you guys provide us some options on the colors? Maybe 3 options of that color scheme besides the yellow and green?
Sure.
And then just show us 3 conceptuals, and then we can, I can talk to the council when I meet with them, and I'll get a
I agree with Joe Angel that, the brown and rustic, that's the old school. Now it's bright and colorful and, cheerful. And that's what we're looking for. At least that's what I really like too.
Kids like it a lot.
So if that's okay with the council, we can come back with some samples for you guys to tell us. That won't stop their progress. Our goal is to get them working and get the designs completed so we can bid the project. The other thing we need is the 1.9 shortfall. If it's okay with Mayor Pro Tem and the council, we can bring back at our May 2nd budget kind of a concept of how we can cover the gap. We could probably work through our CIP budget and move some money around and make sure we get this a little bit higher up in the priority, if that's okay with the
Good with
council.
that?
Okay.
If I may add, I think one thing that's critical is, only because it's a critical part of the design and finishing the plans, is the look of the actual structures you saw for shade. That's what it's actually going to look like, and those plans are rather complex. So if we change them now, or even worse, later on, that the detailing of that would be a lot of work to redo.
It sounds like they're good with the structures, it's just the color scheme.
It's just a color scheme.
Yeah.
That's an easier change to make further
And
along.
James, with this type of a structure and the material, do you have any estimate on how long they might last?
Forever.
That's a good answer.
If I could have the architect comment on that, he seemed very, very confident that they were going to be long-lasting and low maintenance.
We'll see if he says forever.
Yeah, so the main structure is a steel structure, which will receive a high-performance coating, which will last 30 years plus. And the slats on the top, as I mentioned earlier, are resin-infused wood fiber panels, which also last 30 years. Because it has the feel of wood, it's not exactly wood, so it doesn't have that.
And would they, if with proper maintenance, would they last longer if we keep them painted and? They could last longer.
They will last longer. The guarantee that's given by manufacturers is around the time that I mentioned.
Okay.
And if something happens, like some kind of damage, they'd be easily, you could easily replace those panels on top, right? Okay.
Painting is always with the high-performance coating. Yes. It's a special zinc paint.
Okay. Okay. Do we have to take any action on this tonight? So would the motion be to
Is it a motion or
accept the?
directive?
We
No,
we got direction. There's one item we need, and that's to authorize the city engineer to issue a task order to South Star Engineering for project management service in the amount of $125,000.
Do I have a motion?
Motion for.
No, this is just directive.
Do-
I think.
We do
All right.
project manager.
Motion or second?
Motion by Zamora,
Second?
second by Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Are we, thank you, thank you. Next, housing successor agency and city council consent calendars. We have a total of 10 consent items, numbers 6 through 15. Is there, we have a motion by Rodriguez.
Martin?
Martin?
I second.
Second by Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So ordered.
Just to add, when it comes to the drainage improvement projects, I mean, I know we're doing this on Jocelyn. Are we looking at any other streets? I know that with the heavy rains.
We
some of
are.
And then too, I just wanted to let you know those safeguards that you guys put,
Yes.
they worked out really well. A lot
Yes.
of people were real happy. It was just after the fact, the maintenance of
Yep.
cleaning them up, people thought that,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
so-
all I'll say is we're happy that they're installed. We are now compliant. We do have quite a bit of Measure W money that we haven't spent in a while. So Jocelyn will be our first kickoff to get some of that money that we get from a state measure spent. So we're excited about that.
Then too, I know that I talked to you about Oranday. There's certain areas where the water doesn't really run off. I don't know if it's because in the street side where the concrete is at.
It's probably the gutter is the uneven gutter.
It's all uneven.
Okay.
I believe the address is 9753 Oranday Road.
Thank you.
And just so the audience are aware, and council, if you might not be, the drainage they're talking about on Jocelyn, that's right in front of Lakeview School. It's right where the crosswalk's at. And whenever it rains, staff has to take a ramp out there. And they've been doing that for several years now, so the kids can cross. So I'm glad that we're finally going to look at this and take care of this issue.
Well, good news is when it's done, we should not have to use a ramp, so I don't know if that's going to disappoint some folks, but we'll have a normal cross.
I don't think
crossing
it'll
after that.
disappoint anybody. Yeah, the parents don't, the kids love it. Thank you. Next, we have appointments to boards, committees, and commissions. Councilmember Martin.
I'd like to appoint Hayden Brown to youth leadership, please.
Thank you. Councilmember Rodriguez.
None at this time.
Councilmember Zamora.
At this time?
And I have none myself. Council comments, AB 1234, council conference reporting. Councilmember Martin.
Just a great Easter event. That's where you and your staff did awesome, like literally within like 24 hours, everything went from outside to inside, and it was a great event. We had a little addition this time. We had the Majestics and the Desirables Car Club with all the baskets. That was great. I found out that the Majestics used to do that many years ago, and they want to come back, so it's great. AJ, thank you so much for bringing that back. That was really cool. Adrian, I see you here from the Booster Club for St. Paul, so thank you for being more involved in the city, and hopefully the golf tournament goes really well. And great budget meeting, even though it was lasted for 4 or 5 hours, but it was good though. Coming straight from work to that, it was awesome. But thank you.
But who's counting?
And I'm making it short and sweet. On that note, I'd like to say a happy birthday to Captain Aaron. Nobody told us anything, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You're still here. Thank you. That's it, thank you.
If I may, his chief called me and asked if I can send him home because it was his birthday, and he refused because he said the food was pretty good back here, so I wanted to stay behind.
Councilmember Rodriguez?
Thank you. Seriously, Juanita, everything that you said, I have it on my list. Yes.
Did you say ditto?
But, yes, but I want to say a little more too. I'm just so happy about the aquatic center. My grandkids love it. My kids, when they were little, they went to that aquatic center. I'm very happy about the shading because we always used to have to go right by the windows because there was no shading up there, but there were seats. So now we have shading and the seats. It's going to be beautiful. It's a new start for the kids to get out there. And us, you know, we like to swim too. So we're going to get out there and swim like fish, right? And I wanted to thank AJ and the Majestics and the Undesirables. You are the undesirable, but you are desirable, AJ. And that Easter basket giveaway was just so much fun, and it added so much to the Easter event. I want to thank you and everybody that participated in that. There were so many people in line. I think they kind of stole the show sometimes, but the Easter, Gus, it was just amazing with all of our staff and those Easter bunnies. I know who they are. I saw one of them take their head off, but it was so nice, and we had a good time. The kids were saying it was our Easter party. I just thank you. You know, the Sister City pancakes, heard they were delicious. I want to thank everybody that participated and everybody that came to our Easter. There was a lot of people from other cities too, I could tell, because their events got canceled, but ours did not. So thank you to our staff and everybody that kept it going. And the budget meeting, 4 hours, yes, that was amazing, but a lot of good stuff, you know, and everybody hung in there because we want to hear what's going on in our city and how much it's going to cost. Happy birthday to Captain Reese. And I think it's Renee's birthday. Happy birthday. I think it's time to sing. Does everybody want to sing? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to yous. Happy birthday to Captain Reese and City Manager Renee. Happy birthday to you. Thank you and enjoy your evening.
So we got the happy birthday out of the way. All right. So happy birthday, Renee. Happy birthday, Captain Reese. To our event, there was plenty of cities around us that did cancel that day. And it was, you just see all these individuals just rush to our city. And, when you talk to some of these people, it was like, hey, where are you coming from? Hey, I had to leave Pico Rivera, there was nothing. I had to leave Norwalk, there was nothing. And you know what, it put a lot of strain on the car club over here with the Undesirables and the Majestics. AJ, thank you very much. That line was ridiculous. It was out the door. And so it was like that for probably, a couple hours, which it really saved the day, too, because we have our other cakewalk, we have our other little events, and, but, it was longer than even the pictures with the Easter Bunny. Usually is one of our longest lines, and we had 2 Easter Bunnies this time, and, so that line was awesome to see. It was a little stressful for I think for you guys at one point on the baskets. They're like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? It was a cool little formula where they spin the wheel, and if they landed on the car, they would win a basket. So it was a great thing that you guys did here in our community, and we welcome it. When it comes to our reigns, if you notice the reigns, they kick on and then they kick off, and it makes it very difficult for those who unsung heroes. Our public works constantly are just fixing these potholes. So James, commend you and your staff and the public works department on what they time in and time out. Of course, when it comes to our phone calls, when it comes to our fire and our police, I know that I learned how many calls that our fire department has to abide to, our homeless, and where it's not that it's not utilized there, but it's the repeat offenders who keep getting called for. And thank you, Chief, for sharing that with us, because then it makes it easier for us to use Licata, I know Renee was talking about using this MCAP, and they were used with Lakota before, so hopefully we can use Lakota with that in our SFS cap that we're talking about. So hopefully that works out in the future, and using the COG to see what type of finances that we can get from there. But overall, you know, Easter was a blessing, and it was a happy Resurrection Day. So, you know, just thank God and thank Jesus. You know, thank you guys, and have a good night.
Thank you, everyone. I know a number of you were at the budget meeting, and you probably never attended another one because we always used to do it in twos, and ones. And this was an open, public forum. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You know, it was very long, but it was very informative and well needed. And you got to hear from each department head what they need in their department, how many people, what type of equipment, what resources they need. So the next meeting, we'll go through it, but we'll go by line, not just the over general, but it'll be more in depth. So you'll see exactly what those numbers are going to be for. So hopefully you'll all be able to make that. And it might be, I don't know how long it's going to be. Renee said it's not going to be as long, but we'll wait and see on that. And maybe we'll take some breaks. Happy birthday, gentlemen. Happy birthday to both of you. AJ, again, thank you for bringing the Majestics and the Undesirables to the event. I want to also thank the Sister City Committee for their pancake breakfast. John, thank you, the cook of the event. He was outside cooking, but I also realized something else. He had the warmest spot in the whole town because it was raining cats and dogs that day, and the grill was super hot. So thank you for that, sir. Again, great city, great event that day. I'm not going to tell you what city, but my grandkids went to another event the night before. It was a glow in the dark. It was actually, it sounded really cool, right? But they charged the residents to participate. And it lasted 15 minutes or so. So we are very grateful for what we can provide in this city. And yeah, it was City of Santa Fe Springs, and it's not us up here. It's our employees that do it. You guys make it happen, and made it happen in a matter of days, transformed it from one facility to another. So, but again, thank you all for being here tonight, and I'd like to close tonight's meeting in memory of Andina Mendoza, the aunt of Councilmember Martin. Meeting adjourned. Yes.